Oh my God, you guys, I love my pee. I love my pee. It is the most eco-friendly chemical my body produces that does not come in a plastic bottle and is completely free, and I can fertilize my plants with it. In my garden, I can fertilize fruit trees with it, and it helps me to tan hides for making clothing and containers and all kinds of things. So there's this book, Liquid Gold: The Lore and Logic of Using Urine to Grow Plants. And I highly recommend it if you want to learn how to use what comes out of your body to live closer to nature without having to buy stuff that are chemicals or in plastic bottles. How to use your urine for fertilizer. It's pretty incredible. Your urine has nitrogen in it. When you use your urine on wood chips or dried leaves or dried straw, something like that, it actually breaks it down because the nitrogen in your pee breaks down the carbon in those materials. And when you use those materials, there is no smell when you put pee on it repeatedly. It just keeps breaking it down into into fertilizer. You can also put your pee on your compost, but you would want to make sure you had a lot of carbon materials such as the leaves and straw and wood chips in the compost so you don't create the smell. It grows my plants wonderfully. And also, so you have to dilute it. You have to dilute your pee, like 1 part pee to 8 parts water. I collect mine in a bucket. I have a system where I just pee in the bucket. I put water in the bucket so that the pee doesn't create mineral deposits on the bottom of the bucket that you can't get out. And then I just pour that on my garden or on fruit trees daily. And you can also just fill up the bucket full of pee and store it, put a lid on it, and then that pee, once it's aged, it has a higher pH, and then you can use it for tanning hides. And the way I use it for tanning hides is I get hide because I eat meat. So the hides from the animal I eat, or hunters or people that butcher animals, you clean the flesh off of the hide, and then you have to clean the hair off, and I use the urine to clean the hair off the hide because it has a higher pH. And if it soaks in it I soak it for up to a week, a fresh hide, then the hair just falls right off, and then you have raw hide. And some people use lye or ashes to do the same thing, but I find that the ashes stain the hide, and the lye, you have to buy it, and it comes in a plastic bottle. So this is completely free and totally eco-friendly. And so once I have this rawhide, I can make all kinds of things. I make containers called parfleche, which were what the Native Americans made, all kinds of containers from rawhide. It's super useful, eco-friendly material. So I make some of those. You can make drums. I make ties. I have a cabana that I built outside, and it's completely tied together using rawhide, which has lasted me a few years, even during a really rainy year. And I just replace the rawhide every few years. It's totally eco-friendly and free, and it looks cool. And then you can also soften the rawhide and make clothing, which is a natural material that is non-synthetic, doesn't create microplastics like most of the materials these days do for clothing, and doesn't break down in the sun like they do also. So I find my pee to be extremely useful, and this book can give you a lot of cool history of how it's been used as a cleaner and as to help as a mordant for dyes and for tanning hides, and the history of how people used it in the past, and more specifics on all the testing done with fertilizing plants using pee instead of chemical fertilizer. So it's pretty fascinating stuff, and I highly recommend using it.